Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this week we are here to talk about Tesla service. So it's just a short video this week because I'm currently preparing a bigger video on 1 year with the Model Y. We actually hit just past 1 year, I think it was last week. So I've got a lot of content coming in terms of the review and my verdict over the past 12 months. Anyway, this video is in relation to service for the Tesla Model Y. You guys may recall earlier on I posted a couple of videos during the time when we did the road trip down to Melbourne, from Sydney to Melbourne. We experienced a fault, and so I just want to talk you guys through to show you guys how seamless the experience was and what a wonderful experience I had as a part of that entire process. I'm all for companies being so supportive and making things easy for people to do, and Tesla seems to have nailed this seamless experience. So before we kind of go into how Tesla's handled everything, I want you guys to kind of remember that ICE manufacturers today, there's only a couple of ways to contact them, right? And you don't always get everything at once, and there's usually multiple phone calls back and forth, or there's emails, or even sometimes SMSs. So traditionally, you could do a live chat, you've got online booking forms, and you've also got phone calls. When you kind of talk about ICE manufacturers with those processes, you usually either get to a PA or an admin type person or admin type role. They then help organize whatever it is, and then they can give you the quotes, and then they'll come back to you. But that requires you to do a lot of things in terms of talking to someone, working out exactly what you need, and then potentially if they can't get all the pricing up to you there and then, they'll have to work something out. They'll have to come back to you, or they might email you. It potentially goes back and forth. Yes, there are instances where the service in a traditional ICE manufacturer is quite seamless as well, but it's not something that is replicated across every single manufacturer and across every single, I guess, dealership for a brand. So, the likes of, say, Nissan as an example, your experience will vastly differ from one specific dealership to another dealership. So until they've nailed all of that, I don't think that it's fair to say it's the exact same experience. So either way, this is essentially my experience, and so let me talk you through how it all went. So I'm going to put up a video, or the screenshot rolling video of the service for my Tesla Model Y, and I'll kind of talk you through the process in terms of how it all happened. So this essentially happened at the end of the year when we were driving through to Melbourne. Basically, the long story short is I felt like the car lost cellular connection for a long way. So there were instances where we had times where the navigation screen pretty much showed up as just grey. So it still had the blue navigation line and it still had instructions on where we had to go. But in terms of the map and seeing the actual map, that was gone. The other thing as well was something like Spotify. So we listened to our music through, of course, internet. That was also gone. So it wasn't really registering right, and I felt like when we were using the app as well, it just kept spinning and it couldn't really detect the car location, and it was only every now and again that it would happen. So I basically submitted a service request at night on the 27th, and I'll see if I can't view the request now because it's closed, but essentially I submitted a service request at night, just stating the issues, and then 2 days later, or 1 day later, they actually gave me a call and they gave me some instructions to do. So essentially, from my perspective, they were saying disconnect the third-party apps and then do a reset with your password so that it makes sure the entire connection between my Tesla vehicle and the third-party apps is totally disconnected. And so they did that, and then of course I've replied here. I've turned third party off today, deleting the account in its entirety, and also notice on another occasion, no data. So it says LTE for reception, but unable to play songs or navigate successfully. Doesn't look like I can actually open up the picture there, but that would just be a picture to show the LTE bar for the cellular signal. It's on full, but the music still doesn't play, and there's an error there. So then the fantastic thing is they can also communicate to you through the messaging app. So all of this, in terms of what you see on the screen here, that's all managed directly within the app. So super seamless. So you lodge the service request through your app where your vehicle is. You just scroll down to the service section, you lodge your request, and then there's a messages section that they pretty much just start talking to you about what the issues are. So you can see here, have I changed my password? Confirm there, yes I have. Let us know if it's resolved. I've changed it, and then of course they said just let us know if it's all resolved. It clearly doesn't, and you can see there that it's pretty much a grey map, and the blue line is the navigation. And then of course just me letting them know, it's quite frustrating. You're paying $10 a day, not a day, sorry, $10 a month, and we can't use it on a road trip. And it was really important for us because you're going on a really, really long road trip, and you don't want to just have no navigation, and you also don't want to have no music. So, yeah. Either way, they asked if those images are from today, and then of course I mentioned it wasn't because they were yesterday because we were heading back from Melbourne, and then they've asked about changing the credentials. So basically, I'll stop the video in terms of the chat there because it just goes back and forth in terms of discussions, but they're just asking me to verify things like my credential. And then they were also trying to work out what else was wrong. Now, the short version of what ended up happening was they were saying that, or they were blaming the fault to be the third-party app's connection, to say that it was bringing down the network due to excessive pings. So whether or not that's true or not, I really don't know. But I personally don't feel like it was, because when I did change the password, it still had the same issue. So I believe that it was the SIM card fault. And so regardless of that, we essentially proceeded to still get it investigated. And so this was essentially booked in for the service. And then as part of the service, I also wanted them to do the tire rotation, because as a part of the road trip, we actually just clocked past the 10,000 kilometers. Now remember that Tesla does recommend you do rotate the tires every 10,000 Ks just for general maintenance and to ensure that the wear and tear on the tires is even across both sides. Now for the Tesla Model Y Performance in particular, you do have different size or different width wheels at the front and the back. They are 21s, but it's 255s at the front and 275s at the back, and so you can't really put the front to the back and back to the front. It's only left and right rotation. And so the quote that they gave me was $129.75, I think it was. Let me double check. I'll see if I've got it here. View repair summary. No, looks like I'll have to go back. I'll look at the invoice. Okay, so $129.60 ex GST, so including GST is $142.56. So long story short is I went in on the day. They said that it was going to take a couple of hours, so I just decided to wait there. Probably an hour and a half in, they did say that it was going to get delayed by another hour or so because they were just doing some additional checks. Now, what that additional check is, I genuinely don't know, but I decided to go grab lunch. They did say that they could offer me Uber voucher to go back to the station, so I took it to, so it was... sorry, I should have said, so my service centre was at Chatswood, New South Wales. They did offer me Uber vouchers to go to the station so I could go home if I wanted to. But considering they said it was only going to be another hour or two, I just went to get lunch. So they kept me informed the entire time. There was a waiting room. There was internet there if you guys need. So that was all really good. And they kept me up to date in terms of actual updates to what's happening the entire time. So no complaints there whatsoever. Now, as we kind of went through towards the end of it, I actually got a message, a SMS, or a notification, sorry, in the Tesla app just to say that it's all complete. And so all I needed to do really was have a look at the invoice and then go up to the person who was there managing the whole service area, and they just asked, are we charging the card that's on file? Yes, bang, done. That was it. And then we got the invoice. So the invoice itself, I'll see if I can put up a screenshot of the final invoice of the $142.56 just to show you guys. But yeah, that was essentially it. So in terms of organizing all of it, it was pretty much done on the app. You select the card, go to service, type in whatever it is, and you can attach images as well. So that was really helpful. Then they can either call you if they need, or they will reply within the actual app on whatever it is they need, whether it's confirming a specific time, confirming a specific issue, or even giving you a quote. All of that is managed through the app. You just reply like literally sending a message. So it should be really seamless for you. And then it's all locked in. Now, once that's locked in, once you rock up, you just pretty much drive up to wherever the service area is to drop off the car. Just give them your name or your details. And then that's pretty much it. If you need Uber vouchers, they'll give it to you. If you don't, hang around. At the end of it, they'll just ask you to review all that invoice, or they'll have a walkthrough of the changes that were done. And then they'll charge a card that's on file. So again, they've made it really seamless, like supercharging. So I love the Tesla superchargers compared to a lot of other third-party chargers, because you have to set up in the app, you connect it, and then you have to hit start. You know, it's quite clunky in terms of the process compared to how Tesla have done it. Essentially, for Tesla, you've got your credit card details on file, you plug in your car, it charges. Once you're done, it bills you, it sends you the invoice automatically to your account. That is super seamless. So they've essentially replicated that for their service, and kudos to them. And yeah, so from my perspective, the issue around the SIM card and the solution, so they essentially replaced the SIM card, and from that day onwards, I have not yet experienced any of those outages. I am potentially going to go for some longer drives, so the next time I get out of Sydney, I'll have to monitor it, because it did actually happen when we were out of Sydney, and I'm not too sure if it's got anything to do with being in metro or regional or anything like that. But for the most part, at this point in time, it seems to be working totally fine, and I've got no issues. Also did the tire rotation. Now again, I did pay $142.56. I do know that is on the more expensive end, but what you guys need to take into account is, at the end of the day, time is money. And so yes, I could have saved a fair bit of money to go get it done elsewhere, but then I'd have to take the time also out of my day to go and do it elsewhere as well. And so for me, it was just a lot more worth it to just do it all at once, even though it was paying a little bit more. It's also with Tesla, so they already know everything, obviously, about the car. And since it was already there for service, you know, it just made sense. There was nothing more than that. It was purely a convenience thing. So yeah, it's pretty much the same tire rotation that you could get done elsewhere. It's the same thing. They're just going to rotate the tires, right? There's no specific Tesla tool per se that they're going to do. There's no special other process as far as I'm aware. Rotating the tires is just rotating the tires. But that was essentially my experience. And yeah, thought I'd share it with you guys to show you guys how seamless it is, and how great it is in terms of being able to communicate to someone by just messaging, and then getting the quote and everything all done like that. And at the end, not even having to worry about anything about payment. Your account's automatically charged. So yeah, that's essentially the summary. Look, if you guys liked it, give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and look, we'll see you soon in the next video, which is probably going to be talking about the 1 year with the Model Y. So take care.